Hi, and welcome to my Tuesday evening live card making tutorial. I am so sorry. Right as I was getting ready to go live, my internet went down. Like, what in the world? And I was trying something different tonight, and I don't think that had anything to do with it. But anyway, so we're here. Let's see, a couple minutes late, but thank you for sticking in with me. I sure appreciate that. Okay, so we are ready. Life is good, right? All right. So this evening, I'm going to be demonstrating with the new Thoughtful Wishes bundle and using the beautiful coordinating Thoughtful Journey 6x6 designer series paper for an airy and elegant handmade greeting card. And so before I forget, let's say hello because some of you all were, Miss Margaret was saying hello before it even started, which was really fun, Miss Margaret. Hello. And Miss Patricia and another Miss Margaret, this one from Virginia, and Carol. Well, hello, and thank you for joining me and your patience. So let's have a closer look at, there we go, the Thoughtful Wishes bundle. Isn't this beautiful? All right, so we've got stamps with some open dies. Let me take it out of here to die cut them, and we'll do that and use some of the intricate dies and some nice greetings. Um, Thinking of you fondly. I really liked that. Missing you. I appreciate you. People say that so much more. Well, hello, Miss Adelaide. Instead of just thank you, they say appreciate you. I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. And you make life better. And then the open dies. And so I have my Thoughtful Wishes die stored on a magnet card. Look how strong this is from Stampin Storage. And so my dies fit beautifully on here instead of trying to get it back onto that tape or just all falling loose into the bottom of the envelope. The back side is smooth if you wanted to let your stamps cling to it, the cling or the photopolymer. And Stampin Storage, it sounds like a product line from Stampin' Up, but actually it's a completely different company. And that they have products to beautifully, my goodness, organize your craft room, your cardstock, your inks and markers, and I mean your ribbon, embellishments, punches, and products to store and organize to make them so much more efficient are stamps and accessories. And so, and then I slide it into one of these pockets. And so if you're watching on YouTube, and I always say that on YouTube because Facebook doesn't like links, so I don't put any links on Facebook. And so, but if you're watching on YouTube, my Stamping Smiles YouTube channel, youtube.com/stamping smiles, I have all of everything that I'm using in the description. And so, and I have a link to both of these, the magnet cards and the pockets in that description. So I'm going to do some die cutting, and I told you we were going to stamp first. So let me grab what I have here is some basic white cardstock. And whenever you're stamping on white cardstock, you absolutely want to use the Stampin' Up! Basic white cardstock because it has a smooth, tight finish to give us crisp, clean images. And before I forget, please give my video a thumbs up and a like. And Miss Janet from Arizona, hello. Okay, so I'm going to emboss because, oh, I was going to show you this beautiful paper. Here we go. This Thoughtful Journey. Now, this is only half the pack. Look at these. Just, oh, watercoloring just makes me so happy. Just beautiful images. So you can build on these scenes, or there are a lot of them that are, that you can use, still build on them, but not necessarily a scene. But a lot of them are in white. When we see some of the greenery, the foliage on there, or just, oh my goodness. Like I said, anything watercolored just floats my boat. Gorgeous, right? Oh my goodness. And elegant. I think somebody probably truly watercolored every one of these, and then they took pictures of them, would be my guess. And they just get better one after the other. Oh, Yes, 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 yes. Beautiful. So all of everything I'm showing you is available in the new, oh, I missed one or a couple. Here we go. Sorry. Picked them up and missed a couple. Are in the 24-25 Stampin' Up! Catalog. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay. Does anyone else say 24? When did we get to 2024 already? I don't know how that's possible, but it is. Because it feels like it was just yesterday we were turning over to um, the millennium, right? All right, so I'm going to use this big, beautiful one, and we will emboss it in white. So what I have here is my embossing editions toolkit. Fabulous thing to have. And everything is here is included in it. And the embossing buddy is fabulous. You know, Stampin' Up! Came up with this a long time ago and kept winning awards year after year for it on, I think, the scrapbooks.com. And so what I'm doing is I'm rubbing this over it because I'm going to use an ink that's going to stay wet for a good while. And so the embossing powder will stick to what's wet. But you know what else is wet? We have oil in our fingers and it could stick to a thumbprint, you know, and we've touched it before. So that's going to eliminate that. And so we have embossing powder only on our image. So the Versamark pad, here we go. And you know what? Anytime my stamp is larger than the stamp, I like to take, you know, place this upside down and take my pad to it. There we go. That is good and inked. We'll be using that again in a bit. And come over here. Let me get, there we go, and stamp. Now, this isn't going to be an ooh at this point because it's a clear ink on white paper. You know, I can see the image, but we'll see what happens when I hold it in the light. Oh, Miss Linda is here from Canada. Welcome. All right. I don't know if you can even see, I don't know if I can even see it, to be honest. There we go. I can. Okay. So what I'm going to do is use this tray, and then I'm using a retired Stampin' Up! White embossing powder, the basics. And why I'm doing that is because we have new embossing powder that's coming, but it's not available quite yet. But this just begged for an embossed white image. And so until they come up with it, I have a link under the video to some white wow embossing powder that I found on Amazon that I'm told is quite lovely. So let's go ahead and sprinkle this on. Okay, I don't know. We're going to hold it in the light and see if you can see where it clung to it any better. Now you can see it, right? You can see the powder that clung to the image. And I can see well enough to know that I got all of it. And so, you know, the embossing buddy eliminates virtually all of it, but every once in a while you need to use a little brush or something, and this came with it. And now we're going to melt the embossing powder. And what I have here is the heat tool. Fabulous, fabulous tool. Oh, and oh, Miss Alexandra, she's got confidence in me. Thank you. The card's going to be pretty. I think it is. I believe you will too. And Miss Ellen from Florida. So the heat tool, this is what we use to emboss. And it has two settings. The first setting is to dry ink, because sometimes you want to move on. Maybe you're using a pigment ink and you want to dry it. Because, you know, the dye ink pads, our classic pads, dry virtually instantly. And but then the second setting is what we use to melt the embossing powder. And sometimes people will ask, can I use a hair dryer? Well, no. A hair dryer does not get this hot, thank goodness, because, well, your hair would be destroyed. And, you know, and it's meant to blow, where this is not just blowing the embossing powder right off. And so once you see it melting, move on. You don't want to overheat it. So it takes a little bit to get going, heat the paper up, but once it gets going, it just goes crazy. There we go. And there's just something so satisfying about embossing. So, and you can see a little bit. I think it was easier to see the powder because it wasn't quite as white as you can on here, but it's going to be good, I promise. All right. We will be using that in a bit for our greeting, so I won't put all of that away. And I'll use this. I didn't need it right now because the piece was big enough. So I will color this, but I like to color after I die cut in case I don't do a good job. Why color and then not do it and, not cut as well as you wanted and then have to start over. So I am finding it so much easier. Oh, Miss Roxanne, hello. To go ahead and center my dies around an image. Well, it's low and flat instead of on the machine, especially when I'm doing these videos from um, turned. And but even when it's facing this way for me, I'm still just finding this a lot easier. So I need for this to say centered around it. So what I'm going to use is this low tack tape that I found on Amazon. And again, the link is under the video if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. And but you don't have to. You can use Post-it notes, uh, painter's tape if you have it, because that's a low tack tape. And I've used washi tape. I'm just really preferring this because I can see through it. I can't see through the washi tape. I can't see through Post-it notes, but I can see through this. And I do use it over and over. When I'm here, I start with a new piece because it just looks better. So now let me grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And it is right here. Well, Miss Roxanne, I didn't start on time. Just as I was getting ready to go live, my internet went out. I thought, you've got to be kidding me. Thankfully, it wasn't terribly long. Felt forever when I was panicking. Okay, so now what I need to do is build what is called a sandwich. And for that, I will start with plate number 1. And all these plates are included with the purchase of a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And a plate number 2. And then I need a plate number 3. And you don't need to memorize what I'm showing you. It's printed on here. Ah, Miss Paula watching from Wyoming. And you know what? And you want to rotate these. So let's go ahead and rotate that. And then we have the cardstock with this already attached. Lovely. And I have some more die cutting. And I've got room on here. So let's do this. And we'll get our intricate dies. And this for the flowers. So what I have here is Blackberry Bliss. And I'm using colors that are all in the Thoughtful Journey 6x6 designer series paper. They list the colors on the back. And then this. Now these I'm not going to adhere with any adhesive because I just need them to stay on there, where this I needed to go around it. Well, sorry that your internet went out. And then we need another plate number 3. Now I'm placing this on top. I didn't want to scoot it on because if I scoot it, I'm going to scoot the dies right off of the cardstock. So let's go ahead and crank this through. And then I'm going to use another set of dies that's just going to dress this up beautifully. Okay, there we go. I just love how smooth this is. And what a great job it does die cutting. This is a really intricate image and it just comes out like butter. All right. And, and I'll have a link. Come back tomorrow after the video is done uploading to HD. And I will have a link to my blog post with all of the measurements. Let's see how well I did here. Because if not, yep, I've got one ready to go just in case. Oh, thank you, Miss Bonnie. It rained here earlier and then it cleared off this afternoon, but boy, did it get windy. Hey, did okay. Fantastic. So the dies, let's just get them right back. Look at that. I'm not concerned about losing a doggone thing, which is wonderful. I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool to get those out of there, which will make it super easy. And so then I have another piece of, here we go, Blackberry Bliss cardstock. And, I'm going to show you how I reuse the pieces. And look at these dies. These are around the bend. Okay, let me see, get in the camera shot. Maybe I'll show them to you afterwards because this gets the focus. And I thought, ooh, with all of the beautiful foliage, look at this. We're going to use this. So how I'm placing this on here, can you see? Let's back up over here. It's going to create a beautiful curve, and then all this foliage, and I'm taking it up to the edge. And then this piece that we just used, let's go ahead and secure that. And here we go. And crank it through. There are a lot of fun things with those around the bend dies. All right, let me get this out of our way. And I was saying I would show this to you, see, now that you can see them better. And see, these are on a magnet card as well, but a different size. These are, I believe, 5x7, where the other was the 6x6, same price. So your preference. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Oh my goodness. Can't wait for you to see it all put together. So let's clean up my mess here and get this back on. And you're not losing your dies, because goodness, if you've ever misplaced them, it's not fun. Well, hopefully you don't just out and out lose it. But if you've got one that's floating around, try to remember what set it went in. Okay, so there we go. And I take your pick tool. These little poke out holes just make it so easy. So just a little poke through that hole, and then look, this just comes out beautifully. I'm still going to pull gently. I don't want to get all rough. Look at that. So lovely. And the other one is sitting here oh, there it is. I put it away. Oh, and it just came right off. I didn't even need the poke out. Okay, that's how great that Stampin' Cut emboss machine cuts. Beautifully, beautifully, beautifully. All right, so now I have what we just die cut. Okay, Miss Linda, I struggle to figure out the best placement for that large foliage die. It doesn't fit on a corner the way are you talking about the one I just used? Because this is the foliage one. And wait till you see it all done. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. All right, so because my paper is watercolored, I'm going to watercolor. You know how much I love the Stampin' Blends, but you know what? We're going to use the watercolor. Did I get a little scooted over? Maybe not. I'm good. Oh, this is what I'm seeing. Okay, and for that, I'm going to use an aqua painter. Oh, Miss Linda. Oh, wait till you see it, honey. It's beautiful. I'm not, I looked at the catalog and they show it, or online. It's in the online exclusives now. I needed to mention that. It's not in the catalog. It's in online exclusives, and they show it as a corner. I'm not going to use it as a corner. That doesn't make sense to me either. And so I've got one of the water painters, and it says push here, to get it going, get some water coming out, because you need water if you're going to watercolor, right? And Misty Moonlight is one of the colors in this. I'm just, this is just all foliage that's green, but I wanted to just add a little bit more color. So I'm going to use two of them. So what you do is you press on here. They're pliable, the lids on purpose. So it puts color down in here. And then the same with this. And if you just don't have the strength to do this, I've done it a lot of times. I just take the ink refill of the same color, put it into the lid, and I thought, if it leaks on there, what's it going to do? Re-ink the pad. That is no harm. And then I close it a little bit so it's not flopping around. And so I'm going to start with, let's squeeze a little bit more. There we go. I'm going to start with some Misty Moonlight and do that at the base of the leaves. I'm not going to do too many at one time because I do want the colors to blend. So it's not dramatic what I'm doing, but just adding a little bit of color. So over here, I'm squeezing to get that off. Come over here and grab some more. And let's color in our leaves. And we don't need to be perfect. Actually, going outside of them helps us to see the white outline even better. All right, and while we're all greened up, let's go ahead and do the stems. Watercoloring is so peaceful. Oh my goodness. When's the last time you watercolored? You know, we have the Stampin' blends, and so I use them a lot because I really do like the effect. Watercoloring was my first love of ways to color. All right, so we've got these stems, and can you see the image popping out now that we're adding color? So, you know what? I'm a creature of habit. I probably could have just kept going with Mossy Meadow. Did I tell you that was Mossy Meadow? Who knows? But I'm going to go back and do some more Misty Moonlight. And I missed some of those, but it'll be okay. It'll just stand out more if it started to dry. So if you let it dry, it's going to be more obvious. If you do it right away, it'll blend better. Okay. Oh, you know what? I just see I missed. I think I did. Okay. It's just so peaceful. You just feel your heart rate coming down when you watercolor. And that white embossing. I need to do this with the Layers of Beauty too. They have a sample in the catalog where they, did the white embossing and then filled in. White embossing is just so elegant. My goodness. So can you see that little bit of blue in there? It's just adding a little touch. Let me go ahead and close this, press down again and get a little bit more, and we are almost done coloring. Okay, that's just what I got, was a little bit, but that's all I needed. And catch those tips. I was trying so hard as I was making my sample to stay right in the lines, and you just couldn't even see all the wonderful leaves. Like, okay, let's go color outside the lines. And not as a business thing, just there we go. And that watercolored look is just fabulous. So let's go ahead and close these. Pull on this, click. Same here, click. All right, and then when you're done, go ahead and squeeze, get some water out, and keep wiping until it comes clean. And then you're ready to go. So you can put this away, and you're all set for the next time you're ready to watercolor. So we've got just one more thing to stamp, and it is, there it is, as my designer series paper goes flying. Because it's light and airy. Okay, so we're already embossing, so let's stay with it. We'll keep with, there we go, the embossing buddy, because it works so well. I'm going to use the Thinking of You Fondly. Come back with the Versamark. All right. And we'll see how straight I didn't get a second one of these. Maybe I probably should have, but what I did do, I have a piece of basic white cardstock because the Blackberry Bliss was so dark, it was blending with my black, my silicone matte that I just really like stamping on. Adhesive doesn't stick to it. I did this, so I put this, got this so I could see where I was stamping. And did I just touch that? Because it moved. I think I'm okay. If not, we have another side. Okay, it keeps, oh, you know what? It's the fan from my laptop. I can't see what I did. So oh, there it is. No wonder I couldn't see. I was on the wrong, oh, it is definitely crooked. Back with and maybe the fan. I don't normally sit right here and stamp. I'm over to my left. So I'm not used to a fan blowing things away. And if I don't do a good job, well, we'll emboss one of the sides and we'll pretend it looks good, and I'll show you the first one. Okay. It's either that blowing it or I'm touching it. It's probably me more than anything. Now, this is where we're going to use these tweezers that come with that Embossing Additions toolkit, which are wonderful because this is a really little piece and my fingers would get really, really toasty. So these are the opposite. I like that. I don't have to press the whole time. I open it, and then it hangs on. I don't have to have a death grip on it. And these are nice and sturdy. This part is metal, very sturdy, but then you have the plastic, so the heat doesn't radiate all the way up. And I don't need to keep scooping. I've got plenty in here, more than enough. I just come in here and get some of it, tap it off because, oh yeah, I was making a fine mess. Okay, this one is not lovely. I did touch down. That was the problem. Wasn't the fan. It's all me. Imagine that. But the other side, well, let's see how good it looks. Oh, hey. Well, yeah, that's really crooked. So you want a little double? Want to see double or have it crooked? All right, so back with, yeah, that is not lovely. I guess I had too much confidence that I would do this right. And so while we're waiting for this to emboss, you know what? It is May 2024, and there's an amazing new demonstrator special. A lot of in-color products added for free to your starter kit. It is, you'll just get your business off to a fantastic start with the most popular in colors we've had in a long time. Yeah, I'm not thrilled with either one of these, but it'll be all right. Something I can fix later. All right. And so I would love to have you join my team, and I have a link under the video to do that. Yeah, I'm trying to, yeah, we'll go with the double vision. Someone will just think it's them. Okay, so our stamping and die cutting's done. And I have, for the base of my card, and let's bring back that basic white so you can see, Blackberry Bliss card stock for the base, because this is going to fit on here. And I just, if you don't get it on perfectly, it won't be as obvious when your base is the same color. And look at the gorgeous colors in here. So let's turn this over, and I have my Stampin' Seal. Put my finger where it's a little opaque. Inch in each corner does the trick. I did not need this to be the same size as the card. So that means I'll be able to get more out of it. So I'm going to open it up, but I do need this to go edge to edge, and that white underneath lets me see if anything's hanging out. Turn it over. Oh, look at that. Okay. So once I'm happy, then I press. Fantastic. And so now we have this gorgeous piece. I just really thrilled how well it coordinates with this bundle. I'm going to catch some of these. You could use mini glue dots if you want. Let's see. Well, you know what? When I do it on here, if I go off, can you see me over here? Okay. The adhesive will be on here and it won't stick to it. Where if I go off on my basic white cardstock, yeah, I'm going to have glue on it where I didn't want it. There we go. And so this, I'm coming over to this edge, and that's where I'm saying, having it the identical color hide some mistakes. Oh, someone was talking about storms. There we go. And there's nothing hanging over either edge. And look at that. And then this beautiful paper peeks up behind it. Oh yeah, we'll go with the double vision. Yeah, if I had to pick, crooked or double vision, huh? All right. Oh, Miss Roxanne, I'm sorry you're still having internet issues. Okay. Someone can say it. This is beautiful gazette paper, and look at that. And we still have all of our stems. All right. Okay, so now we're just going to, now these are really, really intricate. We have the adhesive sheets, which are fabulous, but this is so intricate. Trying to peel it off, I thought would be difficult. And I used these a couple weeks ago. I'm going to use them again. These are sticky specs. I picked these up on Amazon a while ago, and I didn't find these on Amazon, but I found something very similar, and I have a link under the video to it. And so we will pick up this protective layer. They just make life easier. All right. Okay, here we go, Miss Linda. Oh, so pretty. All right. Okay. And yeah, much prettier than trying to force it. Well, and I could see why you would have tried that because they did show it on an angle, and I don't know why, but it was so big. And so what I'm doing is I'm pressing this on here. I've used this sheet before, so I'm looking in the light. Press this on, and it has all these little tiny specks of adhesive that just makes it super easy to do an intricate card. All right, so let's peel this one off first. There we go. And look at all that wonderful adhesive. And I'm just going to place it for right now, not press. I like to wait to see that I'm happy. You know, once you press, a lot of things, it's not as easy to get them apart. All right. So I'm going to peel this off gently. Have no desire. So how about we start from the bottom? No desire to tear it. There we go. And this is nice, that cover, so because there are several of them in that pack. And so this is, again, tone on tone, but that's one of my favorite looks. Okay. So we've got all that beautiful foliage, and then this is big enough because we have the image. I will go and use the Stampin' Seal again. There we go. Oh, that thunder. Okay. It doesn't usually take out my internet, but after the earlier, who knows. And that's a beautiful backdrop. Okay, I would like to, well, here we go, move it over a little bit. I want to move all of this, or at least this one. And that's what's nice. Until you press, we're in good shape. Let's see my placement. Yeah, liking this. Okay, so let's press these down. And then, and so that white just really pops out, doesn't it? Oh, so pretty. And then our greeting. Ugh. And now, you know what? I know I had dimensionals. My favorite adhesive in the whole world, these Stampin' Dimensionals, these foam adhesive dots. I'm going to give this a little lift, even though, yeah, not ideal. You know, it happens, right? It happens. No big deal. And so to make the backing come off, you press with your thumbnail, even if it's super, super short like mine, and it makes that edge pop up and easy to get off. And so this, and I'm going to let this pop out a little bit underneath it. There we go. And our finishing touch, I have here the Baker's Twine Essentials Pack. Oh, hi, Miss Catherine. And we've got this in 5 different colors. You know, I've got the white embossing, so I'll stay with the white. And I went ahead and tied a bow because I thought, oh, I mean, it was easy, but, you know, we all know how to tie a bow. You just, the big thing you want is to not let it get all twisted because that's not so attractive. And my Take Your Pick tool, I need that. Here we go. Along with the mini glue dots. And everything I'm showing you is available to order in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com, unless I tell you differently, like the magnet cards in the pockets, the silicone mat, you know, and those sticky dots. Oh, and the white embossing powder until we get ours in. All right, so what I'm doing is peeling this back to look for some dots. Oh, I forgot. A lot of times they're ending up on this piece. And here we go. And why I have my Take Your Pick tool is because, you know, that Baker's Twine is really fine. And so I want to get this smaller. I'm trying not to touch it, but we're going to touch it a little bit. And if someone could tell me where my bow went. Oh, it's on here. I'm okay, really. Okay, Miss Kathleen. Well, yep, the replay will definitely be available. And so making this smaller, because I sure don't need adhesive everywhere. It wouldn't look good and it would stick in the envelope. And then we'll add this right here. Is it on there? No, it's still on my Take Your Pick tool. There we go. Maybe. Now it's on me. All right, I'm glad I'm making this look so easy. How about we put it right where we want it? All right. Maybe. Oh my gracious. I don't think I've ever had one fight me like this. Then we'll stick this on here. There we go. Even with double vision, not so bad, huh? So let me show you my original where, I managed to stamp without hitting it twice. And there we go. And it is so airy and elegant. This paper is just astonishing. And the stamp set, wow. And then you pair it with the around the bend dies. Now, again, remember, these are available online only. They've been moved to the online exclusives, but they are still there. And everything I use is available to order my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. Oh, Miss Patricia, thank you. I haven't been doing any of this. I haven't been popping things up. Thank you. It's been a while. and uh, and so they both turned out very similar. This one that we're doing, a little bit more color in the paper over here, but that white in the background is just so beautiful. And so here we go. Isn't this nice? A Thoughtful Wishes bundle. And it's available. I was checking everything before I came on. Everything I used is available to order. We don't have anything temporarily unavailable that I was playing with today. All right, so let's come back. And again, I want to thank you for anybody that was here on time until my internet kicked in, and thankfully it stayed on. So, the small things that we're grateful for. And so, like I said, if you'd like to make my airy and elegant Thoughtful Wishes card, all the supplies are listed below the video and available to order now in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. Oh, thank you, Miss Linda. And this is the time where I say good evening. I'm Shelley Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. God bless.